So the first set of questions that we would like to jump to would be category 2 first, as we wait for Dr. Lee to come in. And for this category, many of you asked about the eligibility for your child or for the student to take the vaccination, such as why is the exercise not open to all schooling children? What about the age groups? And how are the students given priority? I'd like to ask Ms. Liew to share her thoughts. Ms. Liew, please.
Thanks, Sharon. Okay, let me tackle some of these questions, and then I think Jan will have to tackle some of the rest. The exercise is open to our students from 12 years and above, and we have to have a cutoff. So our cutoff was 1st June. So those who are 12 and above by 1st June would be invited to this exercise. Some of you might be wondering, you might be excited about having even your younger children, but I think Singapore is very cautious, and I think Dr. Alvin Lee will tell you later that since Pfizer has gotten approval at different platforms for only 12 and above at this point of time. So that's where Singapore is landing on now. For those who have children who are going to turn 12 later after 1st June, you will have your shot, pun intended, later when it is open to the age bands. So not to worry, your child is not going to miss out. It's just at this point of time, the invitation, we have to have a cutoff. So it is 12 and above at 1st June. Now, some of you are also concerned about whether you have older siblings and whether you can have your children all vaccinated together. So each invitation is tagged to a person, and that's how MOH does it. So it is important for you to be able to sign up for each individual child on their own. So if I were you, I would go in early, and as soon as I get the invitation, and try to find the same center around the same time and try to get them all similar timing, and go to the center with your children, and hopefully they will allow you after your first appointment to be able to do the others as well. If not, I'm afraid that we will have to, if you can't get the dates all together, then you will have to be with them for each session. But for those who are 13 and above, and your child does not need to be accompanied. So if you have children who are 17 and 18-year-olds and they are comfortable about it, they can go by themselves. So that's not an issue. And if you have a mature 15-year-old too, and are quite, it's just around the corner, you can let them go on their own too. So one thing that's important is they may have to answer a couple of questions about their medical eligibility. So for example, you'll be asked the question whether or not they have been vaccinated, but they have taken any other vaccination in the past 14 days. So they need to know some of these answers. So we will be sending these questions through the school to you so that you can work through all the answers with your children in case they're going on their own. The other very key question about secondary 4 students on the integrated program or the international baccalaureate, will they be similarly given priority as those taking the O and N level this year? In short, they will be. So the invitations should have been received by today for all the year 4 students, as well as the O, N, and A. And if you have not gotten it, don't worry. We will be sending a note through Parents Gateway, and there will be a link to a Form SG where you can fill in your number in case the system did not manage to get your number and send out the invitation. And failing which, always go back to your school to let them know, and we will be able to pick up and send back into the system so that we can ensure that you will get the invitation for your child. Okay, over to Jan now.
Hey, I will take the question on private diploma students. So for privately funded diploma students, they are currently not included in the MOE facilitated exercise. But I should add that actually all Singaporean and long-term residents will be included in the national vaccination exercise, which will open up very shortly after our MOE exercise. So MOH, I believe, has released some details on this. So all your students in a privately funded, in the private education institutions, what we call the PEIs, they will be included very shortly. So not to worry.
Thanks, Ms. Chua and Ms. Liew. Ms. Liew, we do have several parents who are also asking about their Sec 3 children.
Yeah.
So the question is, will Sec 3 students taking the O-levels for Chinese language this year be invited with the current batch of O-level students?
Okay, they won't be invited with the O-levels, Sec 4 O-level students, but it will be a very short interval before you get the invitation for your child who is in secondary 3. So anybody with children P6, Sec 1 to 3 and JC1, Pre-U1 and 2 will get the invitations by the end of next week. In fact, it should be the beginning of next week that you get your SMSs. We have to send them in batches, and I hope you can understand why. The system can't fire all of them out at the same time. We have 400,000 students. We had to give those who are taking their national exams priority to get into the system to book all their slots because their exams are earlier and they have oral exams in July and August spread out. So we do need to give them maximum choice so that they can deconflict their dates with their exams. Then we let in all the other students so that they can book the later slots. So not to worry, they should be able to get slots probably the end of June. They can get some slots there. And certainly pretty much all of July, they should be able to land quite a number of slots. So they don't have the national exams to worry about. Yeah, so that's that. Not to worry, at the end of next week, you should get all your children in. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ms. Liew. We'd like to move to the next